Alright, so I'm doing initial impressions on the Road 5s, Michelin Road 5s. See that? In the sun, it's kind of hard to see, but I wanted to show you guys something. So you know, this is a dual compound. You know, the Michelin's 2 CT plus. So you actually see the hard rubber right here, and the softer rubber here. You actually see the transition line right here. See that? I can actually push it, push this rubber here with my fingernail. Let's see, and it feels pretty hard. It doesn't leave much of a indentation. But if I push over here where the softer rubber is, you see more of an indentation there, and it feels a little softer too. So definitely a difference. In my previous the previous iteration of these tires, the road 2, road 3s, and even road 4s, they didn't, there wasn't this clear transition between this hard and softer compound. So that's that difference. Other difference you could see is, let's see if you guys can see this. Let's see. Use the lighter surface as a backdrop here. Look at the profile. This is a little bit different as well. On the previous versions, you look at the how round the crown is right here. It's pretty much round. This one is round too at the at the center. The hard section is pretty round too, but on the softer section, you actually see it kind of flattens out a little bit. So up here it's round, right? But on the sides it's a little flatter. So it'll fall in a little bit quicker, but it's not triangulated like sport tires, sport bike tires. It's even more triangulated, and you can kind of see that triangulation coming up towards the center. This one's more round at the center, so it doesn't just fall in like a sport bike will, but it will transition a little faster because of this, and also being a little flatter here when you're leaning right here. Just more basically, it's more surface area because it's flat. It will give you a little bit more grip, hopefully. What else? So these water threads, they're really deep. They're real deep. Not just deep, but I mean deep and big and wide. My brother saw this yesterday, and he's like, "Whoa, those threads! Look how big they are!" And they're pretty huge. The pictures don't do it justice. So these things are pretty big. So a lot of water channeling out. What else about this tire? So this tire is actually stiffer than the previous versions as well. For example, you push down on the center, and you can actually feel how stiffer it is. Or when you lay down the side and you're pushing it and squeezing it down. Obviously, I have my cardboard in here, so it's not gonna work that way. But take out the cardboard and you just push down on the side here. It's a lot stiffer than the other previous versions. Previous version is a little bit definitely more flexible, a little softer, not as stiff. So this one is definitely stiffer of a tire. So we'll see how all that translates in riding. I think it's just gonna be just from the stiffness and the angle of this and stuff. I think it's gonna be more more performance oriented, and I think that's what Michelin was trying to do too. Making these solid side shoulders here. They intended this tire to be more performance oriented than the previous one. I think that's I believe that's just one of the things that people complain about in previous versions of the tire. That it's a great rain tire. It's like the best rain tire, but compared to other sport touring tires from like Pirelli with their Angel GTs and the Metzlers and all these other brands, those ones will those other sport touring tires were more performance oriented. So they you know, in dry conditions they basically perform better than the Michelin did. So I believe that's why Michelin did this to give it more dry performance, just higher performance period, and with their types, you know, obviously it gives just as good as wet performance, or actually even better than the previous version, the Road 4s. You know, they had mentioned that test where they put 3,500 miles on a tire, and under braking it break the same braking performance as a new set of Road 4s. So so it gives you the rain benefit and the dry, you know, dry benefit as well, wet and dry. So that's what I'm thinking that these new tires were doing, and I think Michelin's staying on top, you know, staying on top of the rain and also staying on top of the dry. So both aspects, they're gonna stay basically number one. Again, looking at the side profile, I mean not the side, I mean the crown profile. So it's rounded, and on the sides it's a little bit flatter. So that gives it a bit quicker lean in. Yeah, so you saw my other video, you know, it weighs more than a Road 2. Unfortunately, I didn't have a Road 3 or a Road 4 sitting around in the same size. I can't remember if I measured a Road 4 before. I think I might have. If you look at my videos back, what was it, back another year or so, or maybe 2 years, you might have seen a Road 4. I might have weighed it, but I can't recall. But anyways, so there it is. Thanks for watching.